All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope you guys can hear me and Peter okay. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today? Doing good, man. Doing good. Excellent. You sound perfect today. That's good to hear. All right, guys. Good morning. Another exciting day. And Peter, you mentioned this yesterday. Every day has been so exciting the last couple of weeks, months. I mean, it's just always something. Yesterday, tons of stocks like Zoom that were very active. Just to name a few, American Airlines was active as well in the morning. Look at this pop and then this drop. Just a lot of stuff happening. Work was amazing, short yesterday as well. Just a lot going on that traded very well. So let's get into this morning, guys. I'm going to remove everything that we have here, and we already have a decent gappers list for today. I could see the spies again a little bit. Up this morning, as you can see, and again, usual suspects are doing well in this list over here of our gapping up list. So as usual, we'll go over our gapping down first, since we have less there. We'll look at our gapping up this morning, but before we do that, let's get to the market pulse and see what's going on there. Yeah, yep. Yep, agree 100%, man. So yeah, Spies slightly up again, doing very well this morning. Just unbelievable. And as you mentioned, you can't fight the Fed on this type of stuff. All right, guys, let's get over to our gappers list here and let's see what's going on this morning. Let's start with what's up nicely today. So we have quite a bit on here. We're not going to get through everything. Let's do the top five, and then we'll see what else looks good here that we've been some kind of watching over the last couple of days. So here, let's start over with WU again on this list here. So they are up nicely. Another, what is this now? Oh no, excuse me. That's only a 15.3 since the close. Wait, that can't be right. Hold on a second. There we go. That is better. Live as always. Yeah, that's not the one. That was yesterday's history. Let me make sure we're live on both of these things here. With trade ideas, guys, you can click on here. You can look at historical data. So it looks like, yes, I was looking at the history from a different day. So here they're not doing all that much. No volume at all. So I'm going to remove that one. Let's go over to the next one that's actually up. Is CRWD this morning. We'll take a look at that. CRWD. This one today, guys, very active at the moment, up at 8.7. This one has been very explosive. Yesterday sold off for the most part of the day. Today kind of getting a little bit of a pop here. A lot of it happening last night, as you can see here. Beautiful breakout above the previous day close here. Once it got there, you can see yesterday was a very nice short, but again, doing very well today. So definitely in play, guys. Gonna have this one on our list here, CRWD. Next we have CLDR this morning. This one, it is up 5.9. This was also active yesterday. Sold off for the most part, then kind of recovered. Like plenty of the stocks that sold off like this did the same thing. Kind of had a recovery towards the end of the day. Today they're gapping up another 6. Again, their daily chart looking very interesting as well. So worth watching. Pre-market wise, price action wise. Again, it's just a little bit all over the place for the most part, but again, I think this will be a good one to keep an eye on this morning as well. Let's head down over to, yes.
and raise.
Yeah, I agree. And Sumo, though, it's not up quite a bit. I mean, just look at the movement after the hours yesterday, right? You had a huge pop, huge drop down here, and then kind of recovered towards the towards the end of the post hour trading. And then today, they got a little bit of movement going on here. So it might not seem like a lot, but I think it's definitely one that has a lot of movement in here that we definitely need to keep an eye on. Next, let's take a look at what else we had here. Bud. So we have a lot on this list. BUD this morning. This one is up quite a bit as well. Now this is a foreign stock, so normally I would not watch this. You could tell by the pre-market action, it doesn't look the best right now. So I am going to skip on this one for the moment. DVAX, another one that's been very active, always on our gappers list over the last couple of days. Right now they have a decent pre-market activity, 129. Their daily also looking very active as well. In the last couple of days have had a beautiful pop right in here, kind of holding on to that. Now let's see how they did yesterday, because I did not have this on watch. So yeah, you did have some ranges going on here. So possible plays towards the bottom here, leaving the VWAP. But for the most part, it's a stock that I'm not too fond of, really. But I'm going to keep an eye on it today. I think it might be worth watching this morning. GSX. This one, it is up 3.6, 130,000 shares traded right now. Yesterday had a pretty good day. For the most part, pre-market action is not looking all that exciting right now, but it could be a player, it could be a mover today. We'll add it on here. Maybe won't make our final list, but for now, let's keep an eye on it. We got some airlines coming in. The first one this morning, American Airlines, and we'll do the top airlines now, and then we'll do the. It's funny, CCL is down today, so can't wait to get into what's going on there. And NCLH, both down pretty nice here. So we'll look at those. So American Airlines right now, guys, some really good volume, 660, up 3.2. Their daily also looking very nice as well. Possible like explosion here happening with them. So definitely want to keep an eye on them. Let's take a look at United, which I definitely is the one that I like a little bit better than American Airlines. United right now also has a great pre-market action, lower volume than what we're used to seeing around this time. For both of these stocks, but again, still great. 446 is very nice. I think their airlines are definitely in play this morning, all doing very well. Delta, same situation, 477, looking pretty good also there. Let's take a look at one more airline here. Who else we have? We have Save. Now, Save is one that has not been doing all that well, but again, now they are nicely all back in action as well. Also some good volume, very similar pre-market action on all of these guys. So pick the ones that you like the best. I'm going to keep American Airlines and United for now. I'll probably stay with United. We'll come back to these two as they continue to rip higher here. All right, so let's look. I'm not going to look at everything else that's on this list, Peter, unless you have something that looks great on the gapping up list that has some kind of catalyst that we should be looking into. I'm going to focus on what's gapping down this morning, and I'm going to sort this here by the worst to best. RGA this morning is on this list. They are down 10.6 right now. 10.6 pre-market action seems to be a little bit all over the place right now. 134. They seem to be a foreign stock on the daily. They seem to have not the best daily chart. Also volume, guys. It's say it again. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, are they doing that? Okay, are we doing that today? This is the same problem we had yesterday, and I don't remember. I don't remember how we fixed it, but we did fix it somehow. And yeah. So this will be on me because whatever I did worked. So let's see here if we can do something quickly to get you guys hearing Peter. All right, so let's see if there's anything that we can change up here so you guys can hear. Yeah, guys, we'll have to figure this one out. I cannot see where the issue may lie right now. So we'll have to come back, and I don't want to spend too much time trying to figure this out. We fixed it yesterday, and I just don't recall what was the fix, to be honest. So we'll have to come back to that. Let me see here. Yep, I'm not sure, guys. All right, let's continue. We'll see what we could do as we continue and move forward to get you guys some audio here. All right, so RGA, as Peter mentioned, it is a stock that's not foreign, but again, volume is very light, and these type of stocks do not trade very well. So I'm going to pass on this one. Let's look at the cruise lines. NCLH this morning, it is down. NCLH. Why we're not getting? Sorry, NCLH. Here we go. All right, so NCLH is down quite a bit. Some really decent volume, guys. 2.2 million shares traded right now on this stock. Down nicely at the moment, 3.9. So definitely in play, opposite of what the market is doing. So we'll definitely look at that one. Also, with that said, we have also RCL is in here, also down 3.6, 292. And then we have CCL down 2.3. So all cruise lines today taking a bit of a hit with some really decent volume. I'm going to be watching NCLH and also CCL for the most part, and kind of see what's going on with those two. We got some other ones gapping down. DT right now, not looking all that great pre-market. It's just not clean. We have 939,000 shares traded at the moment. But again, this daily also not as great, and also volume is very light for the most part. So I'm gonna pass on this one unless someone can tell me there's some kind of significant catalyst for this type of stock that might be worth watching. Their daily is sitting right at a support, so that's nice. But overall, their pre-market action, although it has this great volume, this seems very, very choppy to me right here. So when you have that type of volume and you haven't picked a direction yet, it could be a bit concerned that you might just be very choppy into the open. SPCE this morning. This one, it is wow, SPCE is actually pretty good right now. This is a great pre-market action, 609, down 3%. We're sitting right below this level of support that we have had for several days on here, support and resistance for a couple of days early on in April, but now slightly below that. So I like the way that is setting up. Peter, any news? I thought these guys would be doing good by now, and I'll have you listen to here if you can.
Yeah, I mean, no particular news. I think this is just the blush coming off the rose from the excitement on the weekend as SpaceX successfully put some astronauts at the space station.
Excellent. Hopefully you guys can hear that on YouTube on what Peter said. I put my headphones next to the mic. So let's see. I like this one, guys. Pre-market action is looking pretty good. Down quite a bit this morning. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. All right, so that makes up our list. Peter, do you have anything that you particularly like this morning?
There's a couple things I'll mention, and apologies to those on YouTube if you can't hear me. Maybe Carlos, you can just repeat the highlights. A couple of ones that may come into play but aren't on the list. I'll start with the low float for those that like it. Huge, H-U-G-E. It is a low float, but it's got huge. Huge has got huge.
Yes.
This morning, and it's up 236% with FDA approval on a phase 2A treatment for COVID-19. So that's one that might be a mover if you're interested in that. Two that I'll mention quickly then is CNK and CPB. Both had earnings. CNK is, I think, Cinemark. They missed their estimates, not a surprise, with all of their theaters being closed. Whereas CPB is Campbell's Soup, and they actually met their, sort of beat revenue slightly, beat their earnings, and raised their guidance. So, you know, it has done absolutely nothing so far, but it is a nicey stock. They don't tend to move pre-market. I'm going to keep an eye on this to see if it moves after you.
All right, thank you, Peter. So some pretty good ones here with some news on it. So we'll definitely, I have Huge and CNK. I like the way these two are looking right now, for the most part, for a possible breakout if we can get going here. So these will be some good possibles. Although Huge is not a possible. That one is active right now, guys. And Peter, did you mention what the float was on this one? Is this a what's the float for this one here? You can just go to the 8 million. Okay, so I'll put it down here, guys, for the low float team, just to keep an eye on, and we'll we'll see. Right now, again, extremely active. We have been having a couple of low flows between this week and last week that have been trading very well. So if you're into that low flow type stocks, you're definitely having some great opportunities. But again, just be careful on how you trade those stocks there. All right, let's take a look at the chat room, guys. See what you guys have this morning. We'll start with our chat here. All right, Ernesto is giving us VTQI starts trading tomorrow. VTQI, is there any activity on it today? VTQI, VTIQ, excuse me, VTIQ. Here we go. So this one starts trading. You mentioned as NKLA tomorrow. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but for the most part right now, their volume is very light, and so I'm going to skip on this one for a sec. Let's take a look at Delta, DAL. So yeah, I think Delta, all the airlines are active today, guys. I mean, we can see United. We looked at United. We looked at American Airlines. They're all looking very well, and actually Delta is looking a little bit better than United Airlines, a lot better actually. So I'm going to switch that over. I'm going to replace American Airlines with Delta. Good one there. This one is trading a lot better pre-market wise. Has a beautiful pre-market activity right now. Let's look at WMG. WMG today. WMG. That was it's IPO today. Okay, so that's an IPO today. All right, good. So we'll look out for that. I'm sure Peter will have his alarms ready to go. Every time, if you're not in the room with us, every time an IPO comes off, Peter has his alert sets to go off and advises everybody. So we'll look for that. Here's MGM this morning. Their daily looks good, guys. Like a possible breakout here. Pre-market action starting to get going, so worth taking a close look at. We'll come back to it. I do like the way their daily is setting up. We're getting we're slightly above, well, actually right on this level of last resistance. A few times we have had resistance on this one. We've been able to come back and break out of it. So we're doing the same here. We dropped down to 17. We're coming back. Let's see if we can break out towards this 1922 area. This Delta we have, all right, GNUS for the most part right now. Some really good volume. What is the float on this one, guys? This one is up quite a bit. It's more of a penny stock. Now, this is, I call this the danger zone on these type of stocks, right? You already have a couple of really good days, have been very explosive, right? You're getting pretty extended now. You had an amazing day yesterday. You want to be very careful today. There's going to be a lot of fear of missing out. A lot of the move happening after hours as well. So just be careful in this type of stock. I'm not sure if it's a low flow or not, but overall, just looking at this daily, this is a very extended stock from its normal trading range right now. So be cautious with that one. JP Morgan today, we have some pre-market action starting to get going now in JP Morgan. So I think we can have some banking stocks in here as well. Let's add JP Morgan. Here is Delta. We have, yes, nice breakout set up on Delta. Yeah, Delta is looking pretty good. Here's the highs from yesterday. Around 26.98. We're breaking out of that now with some pretty decent movement here. So I like Delta at the moment. All right, huge. We have on our list of possible low flow. We have, well, let's look at work. WORK today. This one also up nicely today, 1.6 overall. The last couple of days have been amazing. This could be a possible continuation play today. Again, yesterday was this a huge drop? Yeah, it had a huge drop yesterday. Just completely lost the previous. The low of the pre-market, and it just kept dropping. So an amazing short here. I did not take this one, but a lot of you guys in the chat room did. So amazing job there. So today, possible continuation for sure. I'm gonna add this on here. We can hopefully see some kind of action like we saw yesterday on this. So let's add that on there. All right, what else we have? Work. All right, people are putting that one out. We have it. WU. This was active yesterday as well. Today, not much going on, guys. Only 3,000 shares traded. Again, we had some fun with this yesterday with the volume and the pre-market. I did not watch this, but look, is this open? Oh wow, this is horrible. Look at this market open, guys. I mean, this is, again, without looking at the price action, just the charts alone, this did not trade very well and had a huge gap up here. So not looking all that good there. All right, so this DT, we looked at DT, I believe, already. So again, DT right now, their pre-market action is slightly all over the place. Is there a catalyst behind this one? If there is, this could be a good one. But for the most part, their volume is very light across the board here. Their daily is not as clean. Look how these candles are being formed. But here you got a great level of support that you're possibly losing. So we can take a quick look at it. Not all that great right now, but hopefully it can get better on DT. All right, let's look at Cake from Jesse's giving us that one. So Cake this morning up nicely, 10%, only 72,000 shares traded. But I see what you're looking at here. The possible breakout up 10% is quite a bit this morning. I'm assuming they have some kind of catalyst. They have some stuff going on after hours here. So worth having on the list if you have space for it. I don't have that much space. So with that said, I'm going to keep this one off for now. But as the volume comes in, this could be a possible. And it has ran up above this 23, 28 level that we have had in the past. Right on there. All right, a few more. David, which one is the secondary offering, by the way? Let's look at BA. BA this morning. Oh, BA has an interesting daily, guys. Look how we've been just kind of back at this area of some heavy resistance, right where we're sitting at right now, 156. So we're struggling with that in the pre-market right now this morning. I want to add this one also. This one has been trading very well. Not the greatest pre-market activity that we have seen from this stock. I mean, we have seen some really good pre-market action from BA in the last couple of days. So not all that great right now, but it could get going. 361,000 shares traded right now. And all airlines are doing well, guys. United is doing very good. Delta is doing amazing right now. Continues to rip higher. So this could be also helping BA do some damage here today. Definitely looking pretty good. And I love the way their daily is setting up right now as well. All right, two more. Yep, go ahead.
BA's, just quickly, BA's got a very interesting story. It's all been about the 737 MAX, as we know. But now the focus has shifted a little bit because of the space travel. So they also have a space program. They're in competition with SpaceX. But you can trade BA, whereas SpaceX, Elon Musk has said clearly that they're not trying to make money at that, and he refuses to allow the company to go public until they have regular flights to Mars. That's his stated point of release. So BA is just be careful with it, because with the space and the 737 stuff going on, I just think there's some conflicting messages there, and it might not move as smoothly as you hope.
Gotcha. Good info on that. Thank you, Peter. And so I'm hearing DT is a secondary offering. So I'm going to take that one off, guys. I mean, that type of news is not going to trade. Not that's not going to trade well. It typically does not trade very well. And we could tell right now, pre-market action, look at the choppiness we're getting here with 1.1 million shares traded, right? When you have that type of volume, you want to see some real good movement out of some of these stocks, right? For example, NCLH, look at the movement here. You have 2.2 million shares traded so far this morning, but look how great the range is being created off that volume. So again, you need to have some kind of better movement there. All right, guys, let's go over to YouTube. What do you guys like this morning? So NIO today, good volume, 4.4 million shares traded, up 6%. Wow, so this is a nice big pop for them. Again, typically trades are heavy on volume, so I am going to add this one on here, guys. I think it could be a good one for today, so we'll keep an eye on that one. What else we have? We have a TIF. This is Tiffany. So Tiffany has some action yesterday. Whoa, what happened last? Is after hour? No, not after hour. It's actually into the close. Yeah, into the close, guys. Big, huge drop here on Tiffany, over from 128 down to 111. So again, you can see the daily candle here, and this all really happened probably an hour into the close. I'm sorry, an hour after before the close. So interesting there. Possible continuation today for sure. This stock normally trades horrible. You can see here in the daily how choppy this is. Not the best trading stock, but this has created some attention to it for sure. I'm gonna put it here down as possible, because again, it's still with this drop we had yesterday, our pre-market action is still looking very dull right now. We have 300,000 shares traded, nothing all that great, but hopefully it can get better. It has lost the previous day close here, is getting towards this area where we found some support yesterday. So let's see what happens there. But for the most part, this stock just gave back everything it was holding since it did this huge move over here from 110 over to 126, giving that all that back yesterday. So very interesting there on Tiffany there on what's going on. All right, so I like that way that's looking. Possible continuation. We do have, it is on short selling restriction. Do we have shares for short? Yes, we do. So that's good. Okay, excellent. What else, guys? What else do you guys like on YouTube? EAO, possible earnings play here. So they missed earnings. Yep.
EAO had earnings. Not a surprise. They missed their estimates, and they pulled their guidance and slashed their dividend. So yeah, some bad news there. We'll see if it drops at the open.
All right, excellent. I feel like I'm back in my DJ days, putting the headphone on the mic for Peter. All good. All right, so a good one here to watch as well. The type of catalyst could trade very well. So EAO on the list, starting to get going. Doesn't have the best pre-market activity, but we do have 166,000 right now. If we can get some cleaner action here, could be better. For the most part, this is a retail company, I believe. They don't trade all that clean like the Macy's and these other companies like Tiffany as well. But hopefully with that news, we can get some kind of action going today. Let's look. Did we look at Zoom? Somebody's throwing. Yeah, we have Zoom right on here, guys. Zoom is definitely on our list. Again, just amazing couple of days, and with the news behind it. And now they're only up slightly, a little bit over half a percent. They were up as high as 1 point something. But look at the move. Yesterday, you had a huge drop here. So this stock, although it's not up by much, is still very strong, guys. Very, very strong. Look at the drop here. It comes back into the late in the post hours yesterday. It's able to hold and is doing some movement now. One way or the other, short or long, I think Zoom is definitely going to be in play today. Definitely one of the ones that is on my top list, especially after what they did yesterday. It's just unbelievable what's happening here with this type of stock. So, all right, we'll keep an eye on that, guys. Let's go over to announcements, and I will read these off, Peter, so you don't have to do so. But your face will be on there, so if you don't mind, yeah, thumbs up. There you go. All right, guys. So this week. Just make sure so this week we have, actually tonight, we have our webinar, how to get over a losing streak, and that will be with me at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you join us for that. I look forward to sharing some information with you and kind of having a live discussion. So 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. If you cannot make it, it will be recorded, but again, we will love for you guys to make it in the live session. Next week we have trader mindfulness, and that is going to be with I believe Mark. I can't see the name so little. We gotta make that bigger. So he's going to be doing trader mindfulness. Looking forward to that. This has been mindfulness month, by the way. So a lot of stuff going on with mindfulness, and it has been helping traders not only just in trading, just in overall day-to-day activity with everything going on in the news. And Peter's doing the sign languages there. And then next week we have with our own Thor here, how to analyze volume and price. And again, Thor is just an amazing trader when it comes to the level 2 and analyzing volume. I mean, he's just amazing at that. So looking forward. Every time I watch a webinar from him, we learn something pretty nice. So looking forward to that. This week we did how to cope with anxiety. So that was done by Dr. Katz. That was actually last night. Next week we have a meditation session conducted by the Art of Living Foundation. So again, looking forward to that. Again, going into our meditation month was May, but I think June, kind of getting into that as well. So looking forward to that in the coming following week. At the close, our own Peter, Mike, and Brian, do not miss their show. It's a lot of fun as well, closing the day, and a lot of good stuff happening, especially with earnings. And lately, our that power hour towards the end of the day has been really active. So don't miss out on that. At 3:30, they go into 4:15, sometimes even a little bit later if there's some actions happening there on any stocks. Do not forget, guys, we have our brand new Bear Boot Traders podcast. So sign up for that. There's some new materials coming out on a regular basis. Peter, did you release another one this week, or is it coming up? It's released already. Excellent. So definitely sign into that, and we have several ways you can do. We got Spotify, we got iTunes, Overcast, tons of platforms you can use. But definitely sign up for that and stay in tune with what's happening there. Guys, if you're interested in joining Bear Boot Traders, try the pre-market 24. You can try that for $24 and get a whole week. You can join us for our introductory onboarding class every Monday live at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we look forward to having you guys there. And if you are looking to join the team, we have a lifetime lifetime offer, 40% off. A podcast is the code. You can use that. So all right, perfect. Let's go over to our gappers list, guys. So let's fine tune this list a little bit more. It's a lot going on here. There's some ones that look pretty good today, and our gappers list, if you look at it over here, continues to get even bigger as the day goes. MU is on here, just catching my eye because we haven't seen MU in a while, and MU has been a good buddy of ours, but we have not touched in a very, very long time. And it's so funny how some of these stocks go through like seasons, I will say, right? We had MU at one point that was on our watch list almost every single day and gave us so many good opportunities. Now that is obviously CCL, NCLH, the airlines have taken over our day-to-day list. All right, let's look through this list. MU right now, just looking at it, not doing all that much, has great volume, but really just chopping around. So it's very choppy action. But if it hits the scanners on a possible breakout, could be a good one to watch today. All right, CRWD this morning is on our list. I like that one. CLDR, I'm going to take off, guys. It is up 4.5, but look at the pre-market action right now. It's got volume, but for the most part, not looking all that great. And we know there's some ones at the bottom that look amazing that we want to keep an eye on. Zoom is definitely on our list. Possible continuation. DVAX is a stock that, again, if you like to trade this type of style, this type of stocks, you can watch this one. I'm going to skip on it. Again, it's just the lower price stock. I like the stocks a little bit above the $15-20 range. If we have room, guys, this will be on our list. Has a good pre-market action. It's up 4.6. The last couple of days, some pretty good ranges, but again, and we have some really good ones to watch today. So I'm going to remove this one from our main list right now. GSX also not doing all that well pre-market wise. Nice pop. The last couple of days trading very well, but at the moment pre-market looking a little bit dull. Here's United. United is definitely on my list. Between United and Delta, I want to keep one. I think Delta is the one today, although I prefer to trade United. Delta's pre-market action is looking slightly better, so I like the way Delta is trading here, the way that it's creating some of these candles pre-market right now. So I'm going to remove United today. I'm going to actually put it down as a possible, and I know probably somebody in the room will be watching it, and they can call it out if they see something they like on it. Let's go down over to NCLH. I think this one is also very active, guys. 2.5 million shares traded right now. That's some significant volume. Here is a CCL as well, some significant volume, also 1.7. So they're both on my list right now, and they both are putting in a good pre-market action. Either one you go if it's going to be great, or we just can watch both. SPCE is dropping down here. What I like about SPCE, losing this possible level, so we'll keep that one. CNK, I believe this was a possible that Peter had mentioned, so I'm going to throw it down here. There's no volume right now, but there's a possible catalyst behind it. Let's remove it from our main list and keep it at the bottom. Delta is looking good, as we mentioned earlier. We'll keep that one instead of United or American Airlines, but any of those ones, guys, you keep will do good today. The airlines are actually very active. MGM, the pre-market starting to get going. I do like the daily setup, so it's worth keeping it here. JP Morgan will be the banking stock of today, and I have BA I'm watching here as well. It might be a possible, based on what Peter mentioned earlier. Again, the news behind it might not be all that great for this pop that we're getting, so we'll see. All right, let's do some levels, guys. Here we have, let's bring my thing over here. All right, so here we have crowd. So crowd high of the pre-market sitting at 101.79. So let's mark that down. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and we're pretty high here on our crowd. Again, look at this drop here we had for the market crash. We have recovered above their recent highs before the crash, and we have gone even more so higher here, so doing pretty well. Now, are we sitting at all-time high? We are right at this peak over here at 101.63. So I just want to go back here. Yes, we are at all-time high, if I see this correctly. If anybody has anything else, let me know. But all-time high here, guys, so let's make it exciting. I think that will be that will create some action for us today. And again, this stock over the last couple of weeks, months or two, has been just amazing their comeback here. Here is Zoom, definitely on our list. With some levels we have might still be in play. We had this 219 from yesterday, which is acting as some resistance here, and that was probably the high from yesterday, it looks like. So I am going to just move this up slightly right over here. Here's where you're getting, actually right here's where you're getting a lot of the resistance, 213 right on there. And you do have your highs and lows from it also right below that. Towards the bottom, previous day closed, and highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. And we're sitting at all-time highs, so there's no more levels after this. But again, Zoom trading very nice. I think we'll have some fun with that one today, hopefully. NCLH, let me remove some levels. We have our highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. I'm going to mark down the low of the pre-market sitting at 16.54, and then towards the bottom, you have the low from 2 days ago. So you got a pretty nice range as far as levels right in here. Do not need to add any more, guys, on NCLH. Pre-market action looking very decent right now. Similar situation with CCL. Highs and lows are around the price action. Just mark down the low of the pre-market, and you got some pretty good levels already set up for you on here. You got some moving averages towards the bottom, towards 16. That can create some good support there as well. Here's SPCE. I like the fact that we're losing this area of previous day close. Low of the pre-market right now created a few minutes ago, sitting at 1530. We might retest that again, looks like, but dropping down nicely. The few times that we have gone below this, right in here, we went down as far as 1465, has found some support and came back up. But again, the peak now not as high as we did the last time that we tested this area of support. So let's see if this is indicating a new trend here. We also have a moving average coming in towards the bottom around 14, that looks to be 1431. That's the 200. So that's again the strongest moving average on the daily that we watch. So that could be exciting as well. So looking forward to SPCE. I think the pre-market action is looking very good right now for some action on this one. So here's Delta. Delta looks great, guy. Plenty of levels towards the bottom as far as support. Towards the top, we do have 27.84, great level on there. We do have this area we're trying to get out above, which is the highs from the last 2 trading days right in here. So if we can get going, we can possibly have some opportunities on here. Pre-market high slightly above that high from yesterday at 27.09. So we can mark that in so we can get some reference points and possible breakouts of that pre-market high if it's able to hold that. And then once we get above this here, guys, this 27.84, this is where we had this kind of very choppiness happening. A lot of stocks did this on that initial drop. They had this bounce and they were really all over the place trying to figure out, okay, are we reversing now? What's the market doing? A lot of them came back down and just consolidated again. This one here trying to get above towards those area. I'm going to mark down 29.26 on this area. We have several days opening and closing right at that price target. MGM is next, guys. This one, it is ripping here. High of the pre-market sitting at right at 1883. Above that, you do have 1922. Where did we get that level from? 1922 going back in this area here. So nice level there. And we have also 2142, also another great level there as well. And then towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You got some moving averages coming in as well on MGM. Here's JP Morgan. So this stock has been pretty active the last couple of days. I know Jared has been watching the banking sector very closely. I'm going to mark down just the high of the pre-market at 101.50. Above that, we do have 103. We can actually upgrade this down a little bit down here now to 103.05, and then move this one here. We got some more recent data here, 104.44. And then towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows, moving averages, everything there has got you covered. Here is BA. So BA, again, we'll do some levels for it. Might not make our final list as we fine tune it into the close. Into the open. 157 here, 49 high of the pre-market. This is a great level too, guys. Look how much resistance we have had here. How many times it has been tested. It has not been able to break that since back in April 7th. So April 7th, we went as high as 164, and this was a big gap up day. We had a huge day here, nice big gap up, found resistance at 164.43, and then had a huge drop. So possibly getting into that area. Of course, we're going to have some resistance at 160. That's a whole dollar number. I don't expect this to blow through that if it's going to trade well today. So I'm going to mark down that 160 area. You can see several days, or at least one here, having a rejection of that 160. All right, guys, I do like this list so far. Let's look at CNK at the moment. Again, possible if you can get some volume in here. That they have some catalysts behind, as Peter mentioned. Here's United Airlines looking very good. Also another possible. I do have Delta on my main this morning. I think their pre-market action just a little bit cleaner and more volume than United slightly. And usually United is the one that's leading the volume on these airlines. NIO also. NIO, yeah, also a possible. Work here, guys, a possible continuation today. So actually starting to look a little bit better now that we are seeing the pre-market action being built. So, I think work could be worth having up here. So let's bring this back up, and then we'll do some good levels for work here this morning. So, as far as levels, I think we're covered 39.51, and then we have 40.23. Did we have work up here already? I thought we... Yeah, but I'm not sure why we didn't have it on our main list, but this looks very good, and we're nearing all the all-time highs here in their IPO price. So yeah, definitely worth watching this morning. I think we could get a good continuation. The last couple of days, guys, look at the rip that it has done. Yesterday had a big sell-off, and look at the comeback into the close, and even after the close had a nice pop here. Worth keeping an eye on. It's not up by much right now, but it has seen some pretty good, interesting pre-market and post-market action on it. All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's take a look what the moderators are watching this morning. Peter, anything else that you like this morning that's not on our list?
Carlos, the only thing I'll mention is that there's quite a number of IPOs that we're expecting to come out. Yesterday, Warner Music was supposed to come out, but in solidarity with what's happening in the U.S., they declared it a blackout Tuesday and did not release their IPO. So that's expected today, and it's by far the largest. So I'll let everybody in the room know as these IPOs become active.
All right, excellent. Thank you for that. All right, let's start with Eamon. So Eamon's watching Zoom, ZM, Cake, and C will be Citigroup. That is his primary list today. Yeah, C's actually looking pretty nice. How's JP Morgan? Yeah, they're actually starting to get going, both of them right now. So I like what's happening there. And then secondary, he's watching American Airlines. Again, another one that's all the airlines are doing pretty well. American Airlines in here as well with some pretty good volume. All right, so let's look at Jared. So Jared, let's go down to his list. So his candidates are MU, all the banks, and Oxy. So let's take a look at Oxy this morning. The banks are doing pretty good today as well, and Oxy's slightly up 2.2 with some good volume happening here. All right, let's look at what Thor is watching. So Thor's list. Oh, Thor's watching more than 3 stocks today. That's different. Thor is very focused on very small stocks watching here. So CRWD, he's watching that one. United, we have United as well. We looked at that, it's good. NCLH is good, and he's watching MU. Yeah, MU's got some volume, man. It really does, and it's been just kind of chopping around. He's very choppy pre-market action, but this is a lot of volume for MU, almost 500,000 shares traded. So at the pre-market, usually they don't have that type of volume, but today they're showing some pretty good stuff going on there. So expecting news on that one is some upgrades. So Peter, your watch list: Zoom, MU, as you mentioned earlier, NCLH, secondary, CRWD, Zoom, CPB, Citigroup, JP Morgan, CLDR, and Delta. All right, excellent. So we got a pretty decent list here today. A lot of us are watching the same thing, which is good. And the ones that we're not watching, like for example, you have CLDR on your list. If you see something good, you can call that out. So CLDR. Yeah, it's been strong. It's just I have no more space here on what I'm watching this morning. All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's just recap real quick. So CRWD definitely in play. I think I got to get rid of at least 2. Zoom is a possible continuation. Last couple of days, very nice. NCLH and CCL. Let's get rid of 1. I think I'm going to keep NCLH today. I'm going to get rid of CCL. There's nothing wrong with either one, just to get 6 so I can watch nicely and comfortably on my screens. Space is interesting. Delta is good. MGM is starting to get going, breaking up here above this 1883, so that's good. Could be a good day for them. And JP Morgan is good. BA, you know what? I'm gonna move down BA. Just looking at my list and what's looking pretty good. I think BA's got to come down here. And let's get rid of it from our main list, and then work is a good possible. So, all right, guys, that is what we have. Yeah, we have huge down here. And this one is, again, very active. So I see the comments on YouTube here. Yeah, this one is very, very active right now. But again, just be very, very careful with this type of stock. All right, guys, that is what we have. Thank you so much for joining the pre-market show. We will give you guys, we'll see you guys at 3:30 for the close with Brian, Mike, and Peter. And take care, guys. Stay safe.